We play here for so many years now. We're here. I like to be around fans because it's not for the fans. I don't know what could happen to us. So I say you gotta be good to the fans. You gotta let appreciate what they're doing for us, and it's a great feeling.
Do you have any one year that stands out in your career with the San Francisco Giants as a player?
Well, 58, in 61, and 62, we went to the World Series.
Just that close.
Yes, so many. I got some great years in San Francisco.
Yeah. Willie McCovey's line drive that Bobby Richardson snagged, that was
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But it is a great career because you followed and you went on to the Cardinals and you went on to the Braves and you made a full round, and then you went back to the San Francisco Giants where you started your career, which I'm very happy for.
Very lucky. I say to Bob Leary, he brought me back here. Peter McGowan helped me here, so I'm very grateful, very fortunate, very lucky. I'm still a Giant.
And you had your number retired, and you also had your Hall of Fame speech at Cooperstown, and you had just so many highlights.
Don't forget my statue.
Oh, and your statue. We're going to take pictures of that after this when we go back out. Now, what is all that? What's the statue mean to you? Because this is the most recent honor.
It's incredible to be able to be in the same ballpark that McCovey, Mays, Juan Marichal, and it's incredible. It's hard to explain the way I feel about it.
Fantastic. Well, I tell you what, you're most loved, and I'm a big fan, always was a big fan of the one and only Orlando Cepeda, the baby bull. Thank you, Orlando.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more San Francisco Giants Fan Fest 2009, so don't go away.
Okay.
It's still a scoreless tie in the fourth with one out when Ford faces Philippe Ballou, who smashes the ball toward third. Clete Boyer dives for it, but the ball caroms away, and Ballou is safe for the hit. Ford tries to make Mays go for a bad pitch and walks him. Then there's a pickoff attempt at second base by Ford. The ball sails wildly into right field. Philippe Ballou scores all the way from second, and Mays dashes on to third. Orlando Cepeda hammers the ball into deep right center. Mantle and Maris race for it. It's in between them for extra bases. Mays trots home from third, and Cepeda pulls up at second base with a double. Jim Davenport joins the rally by smashing a single right through the middle. Cepeda scores, and the Giants jump out in front 3-0. Orlando Cepeda, with 2 hits already, adds a third with a line single to center. Hiller scores, and the Giants have lengthened their margin to 5-1. Jim Coates is then called in from the bullpen as manager Ralph Houck decides to remove Whitey Ford.
Familiar face to millions of fans, not only the San Francisco Giants, but the Oakland Athletics, all of the Bay Area. I'm talking about the one and only legendary Vida Blue.
You're so kind, Jeff. Thank you.
Well, Vida, you deserve that because you're a great athlete.
I don't know if I'm a great athlete, Jeff.
I see when you came on the scene in 70, 71, and you just, no one could hit you, man.
Well, I tricked them for a year, man. I had fun out there.
Would you win Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, and MVP?
No, I had too much innings pitched, so I didn't have rookie status, but I won the Cy Young and MVP. But I enjoyed my career as a baseball player. And like I was about to say, when you're born and raised in Mansfield, Louisiana, and the opportunity presents itself, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. The A's were looking for a left-handed pitcher, and I just happened to come along at the right time. When Dick Williams was our new manager, and he took the best 25 players with him that he could find to make up the ball team.
3 back-to-back World Series.
Back to back to back.
72, 73, 74.
That is good knowledge.
And
that is good knowledge.
Thank you, Vida. And how many years were the A's before the Giant trade?
I was Oakland 71 through 78. I came to the Giants the 7-8 season. So my last season in Oakland was 77.
And it was a big year because there was a big trade with a lot of players involved, and you won 18 games their first year with the Giants.
That is good knowledge. You've been reading my
Well, I'm a fan of Vita Blue. I just wanted
5 minutes. Come back. Okay.
I'm a fan of Vita Blue.
Thank you very much for being so kind, and I appreciate you having me on your show.
Well, Vita, what do you do for the San Francisco Giants now?
I do corporate events, and I do. They have me doing a number of things, but I do a lot of corporate events, and we're on the suite level right now, so I'm always up here in luxury suites, meeting and greeting fans, and kissing babies, and you know, seeing people think I'm running for office, but I'm just up here being being a goodwill ambassador for the Giants as well as the game of baseball.
And you're a good one. Thank you very much. Just like your pitching career. How many total wins?
I won 209 games, and I lost 106 to 8. I have a 3-point-something ERA. I don't know all the stats.
Okay, one other question, Vita.
What's that?
What is any regrets in your great career?
None whatsoever. I left everything I had on the field. My attitude and motto about pitching was hard as I could, long as I could, okay? And that's the way I played.
Thank you very much.
And that's the way I live, too.
And you're a delightful gentleman.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Pleasure, Jeff.
I don't know if they get better than that, but we're going to try. Vita Blue, everybody.
Thanks, folks.
It's D-Day at Candlestick. 6 months of baseball now spirals to a climax in just one game. Even the vendors and players want to keep personal memories alive on film. Manager Al Dark of the Giants, however, reveals no tension. Nor does Yankee manager Ralph Houck. For the showdown game, it's Ralph Terry pitching for the New York Yankees. For the Giants, their right-handed ace, Jack Sanford. The tense struggle moves into the Yankee fifth without a serious scoring threat on either side.
And right here to my right is the legendary broadcaster, Hall of Famer, been the voice of the San Francisco Giants. Go away, that's this man right here. Since I think since 1960 or maybe beyond that. But I know it was a long time with you and Russ Hodges and Bill Thompson's another one.
Yep.
And this is the one and only Lon Simmons. Lon, God bless you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, you're still living in Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm still living there. It was Russ and I started in 1958. The first year the Giants came west. Russ came with them, and I was here in San Francisco, and so that was the first year. And then Bill Thompson joined us. I think it was in '64.
64.
And Bill and I were high school buddies.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And I loved his voice too.
Yeah. Well, he followed me into Fresno. I came here from, I was working in Fresno and came to San Francisco, and then Bill came up just before I left, and he took over for me in Fresno, and then Russ wanted him to come in and work with us, so he did, and so I think that Bill and I are probably the only two that did Major League Baseball together that went to high school together.
You're probably right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you always have, I know you always had the strong baritone voice, did you always wanted to become a broadcaster growing up?
Well, not really, but I used to, when I was a kid, riding my bicycle, I used to broadcast baseball games a bit, and the people thought I was a little weird, and they were right. But anyway, I never thought about doing that. I mean, I was just doing it because it was baseball, and I loved baseball, and so I would ride along on my bike, and I'd be calling games. And the amazing thing was, I grew up in Southern California, and all the things that I was calling were New York Giant games. That for some reason, that we didn't have Major League Baseball, they're just Pacific Coast League, but for some reason, my favorite team was the New York Giants. And then to get the opportunity to broadcast for them,
that's great. Well, I heard that Vince Skelly was a Giant fan.
Right, yeah, he was growing up in the New York area.
Well, Russ Hodges, what a legendary team, you guys. Russ Hodges and Lon Simmons, that went together like Willie Mays and Willie McCovey. And you guys seem to be, you made us feel real comfortable, and you could listen to a ball game on the radio and not miss a thing.
Yeah, well, Russ I got the job. I was working for the radio station that got the KSFO that got the rights to the game, and so when Russ was the only announcer the Giants brought out, and so there was an opening, and fortunately I got that job, but that was just by chance. Had they given me a list of 100 broadcasters and said, you pick the one you want, I would have never made the choice that was as good as the one that I got by chance, because Russ was a great friend, a great broadcaster, and certainly in the booth, he did everything he could to help me.
And it came across the airways that way. I wanted to let you know. It came across the airways where you and Russ were good friends. And what about Bill Thompson? Tell our fans a little bit. We know Russ passed away many years ago. What was Bill? Tell us about Bill Thompson.
Well, Bill and I went to Burbank High School together. I was a year ahead of him, and we played baseball together at Burbank. Then we went to Glendale College together. We'd signed up to go in the service, but they weren't taking it, so we went there. And there were only about 11 of us that went there to play baseball because we were all friends, and we won the Southern California championship.